All right, welcome to this week's episode of Lights, Camera,
Reaction. This week we watched The Titan, which is a Netflix original movie starring Sam Worthington and Taylor Schilling from Orange is the New Black. What'd you guys think?
You want to start?
That's about, what you said, was it an hour and a half?
Yeah.
That's an hour and a half of my life I would like to get back.
Yeah, I can't disagree with this movie. It sounded interesting. They show a little trailer on Netflix. I don't usually like to watch the trailers because trailers today, they ruin stuff. I would say, in a nutshell, we're going to go into the movie. And this one is going to have spoilers. We don't usually spoil films, but bottom line is you don't have to watch this movie. Watch the trailer, you're good, that's it. You've seen the movie. And yeah, so we're gonna pick it apart now, and I'm gonna have Cory start with stuff because he's our note guy.
Yeah, it kind of started off with an interesting premise, whereas they were talking about terraforming another planet for humanity to survive, because at this point in the future, humanity's been ravaged by, I guess, famine, overpopulation,
war,
everything.
It's 2048
everything
is when the movie takes place.
But instead of doing that, they decided to take a bunch of test subjects and they're going to turn them into like adaptable human beings that can live on the planet.
Live on another planet. They're going to send them to Titan, which is a moon.
Right.
So they're gonna.
So when we first heard that, we were like, "Oh, Titan AE, a live-action version of that. That would have been awesome."
Yeah,
didn't go that direction.
No, it did not.
They tried to go in like a David Cronenberg body horror direction, but it was like
but without the body horror.
But it was so colorless,
very colorless,
and dull.
It was a very big.
Yeah, and the first. I mean, the whole movie's awful, but the first 50 minutes just drags. I don't mind slow movies. I don't mind movies that drag as long as it keeps you interested and it's gonna further the plot or whatever. But it doesn't. And the movie goes nowhere. You know the term. The movie goes nowhere fast. This movie goes nowhere slow.
Yeah.
Like it just.
And it's an hour and a half.
It could have honestly been a Twilight Zone episode. Now, without commercials, they're about 20 minutes long. Right. You really could have did this in 20 minutes, and maybe it would have been good. Maybe? I don't know.
Well, they don't even have an interesting hook or a twist. There's no twist that happens in this movie. Even the twist that we thought was going to happen...
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think Sam Worthington's acting was horrible in it, too. Like, he was just so, like...
He's window dressing.
He was almost like a robot.
You know those cardboard cutouts that you can buy of your favorite movie stars and actors?
Yes.
That's what they filmed.
If they had just put him from Avatar, his cardboard cutout, it would have been more interesting.
Yeah, and I said during the movie, you know how he was an Avatar?
Yeah.
Well, this movie's Avatar-ed.
Yeah. He went from one blue alien to an even worse blue.
Oh, yeah, it's just...
The makeup's awful.
Oh.
It's not even creative. It's like a combination of powder, the architect from Prometheus.
And he needs a movie powder. Not when you said makeup and you said powder, I thought you meant powder. But no, it's like a mix of powder and Prometheus.
For some reason, they thought bat wings would work under the armpit too.
Silver Surfer. It's just an amount.
Silver Surfer.
It's a mess. The whole movie's a mess.
Oh.
It's just
the makeup's awful. You can tell it's low budget. It pretty much takes place in two locations: the house and the laboratory.
You would think Netflix would have had a better budget.
Yeah, I mean, because it's on a NATO military base, so I think there's probably more than one all around the planet, but it's just, and you raised a good point too. Why did because they take like 30 test subjects to genetically mutate them, alter them, so that they can live on this planet Titan, and the whole point of it is because Earth's being destroyed, and us as a species is going to be gone, so to go to this planet as the genetically altered people. It kind of makes sense, but then you're like, now what? You got to genetically alter your wife, and then your kid, and your whole family just to get there, and then you got to procreate there to keep the species going.
Right.
But now you're not human anymore. You're this altered bat. Oh yeah.
By the way, halfway through this movie, we abandoned all faith in it actually getting good, so we started riffing on it, and it became like a version of Manimal.
Yeah, the movie
from
the 80s, Manimal, which I would love an update to that movie.
And we were basically a Mystery Science.
At one point, the wife is rifling through some papers, and she sees in bold print bat DNA, and we just started laughing.
Yeah, like in a science book, like what's all the genetics that are going into the people. It was bat DNA. Oh, and the actual term, Cory, you could say the actual term of what these humans getting genetically altered and turned into, what that new species is called is
Homo titanus.
Homo titanus. I'm sorry, it sounds like a bad gay joke. But it's I don't know who it's ridiculous. It's just the whole science behind it's ridiculous. And poor what's his name? Tom Wilkinson, who's a phenomenal actor.
Oh yeah.
He brings some gravitas to it, but it's not enough to save it.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, I wouldn't say he even phoned in his performance. His performance was good. He's just in a bad movie with a bad script.
Well, it's funny. Bill even said it was like predictable from the beginning because you could tell just from his casting that you knew he was the villain.
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
He's always played villain.
Yeah.
What made it so bad is we were thinking like, all right, it's slow, so maybe they'll have a really good finish, but the finish was even horrible.
Yeah, I don't mind spoiling this movie because honestly, we'll talk spoilers right now. If you want to stop the video, stop and check out the movie. But we're saving you an hour and a half of your life, so you know what? Don't worry about the spoilers. What's the first spoiler we can talk about? What we thought the ending would be.
We thought that with his new DNA, they might impregnate his wife. At a certain point, it looks like it's going to happen because she wakes up in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything with that. That's a complete
so
dead end.
Yeah, so you're just thinking like, oh, they're just going to be like this mutant baby or something, which would be an even better movie if that happened.
Probably.
So
I want to set up a more interesting
like It's Alive remake.
I don't think they
remake
because of they show when the male and the female I think they had to have those tentacles. Which they never said how they got the tentacles. Was there a we see
they're a mixture.
DNA?
We know they're bad DNA.
Well, right, but there was never an animal that had tentacles.
Oh, and their cat DNA.
Right, that was for the eyes.
Yeah.
And then there's a reptilian stuff going on.
But what was the
and trust me, everything I'm saying right now sounds much more interesting than the movie is.
This don't show any ridiculous in premise, and if the movie had played it kind of like tongue-in-cheek, maybe it may have worked.
Right,
but it takes itself so seriously and ponderously.
Exactly,
honestly,
exactly.
You know what? It could have been. This should have been better as like a ridiculously.
It would have been better if Troma made it, Lloyd Kaufman, or who I said before,
Roger Corman.
Roger Corman. Then we would have been like, all right, we got this go. But it's really boring. It really is boring. And I want to say even the action scenes are boring because
other than like some graphic blood spurts, this could have easily been like a TV-14. It didn't need to be MA.
No, it's rated TV MA. It didn't need to be MA.
They should have like amped up the kills to at least maybe try to save it.
And there's not many kills. I think there's 2.
Even the kills.
Not really.
Maybe 2, maybe 3.
2 or 3.
One in the cage.
Actually, when the blood splatter does start to happen, it feels like you're not even watching the same movie because it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and the ending's ridiculous. I don't even know why we'd want to go to that planet. I'd rather just stay on Earth, die, live out my. Because they have like a little. It's a utopia. It's like a military utopia. They have everything they need. They're essentials. They have everything. Food. Live in there. Grow old. Fucking die. I don't care about future generations.
Yeah, it looks bleak and dreary up there.
It does.
Why would I want to live there?
Oh, and there's this horrible shot, like in the, I would say woods or whatever the hell it is. It's shot. It's a day for night shot. You can totally tell it was shot during the day, and they made it look like night.
Actually, it hurt my eyes.
It's awful looking.
It's hurting my eyes.
It's awful. All right, we know what's going on. More than 10 minutes. I don't know what we're at right now. I'm gonna give my first. We do A to F, and then we do for Roger Ebert the thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm giving this. I'm gonna take his word from last week. I'm giving this enthusiastic F+. Or would it be minus? No, plus, the worst. Yeah. F+. And enthusiastic thumbs down for me.
F- is the worst.
F-, no, plus, right, but if I'm going in the negative way. Alright, whatever.
Okay.
What's
the worst? What's the worst?
So he's giving it the worst. F+, F-.
F minus is the worst. F-. If I could give it worse than that, I would give it I for incomplete.
And thumbs up, I guess?
Oh, hell no.
I'd probably give it a D- because I need to leave a little room because I know there's got to be something worse than this coming down the pike on Netflix. But I would definitely give it a thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Okay.
The 20 minits that it took to do my hair
I would honestly say
better special effects than that alien.
Yeah, his hair is better special effects than the entire movie. I would say. All right, yeah, D. You said, but I'm definitely giving it an F. I'm not going back on that. But I would say the best thing about it, seriously, was I don't know who did it. But the musical score, I had no problem with the score.
It's fine. It's like a sub Zimmer kind of score.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a surround sound system, turn your TV off. Maybe just listen to the score. Don't even watch it.
The problem is the movie was so boring and the music was really mellow.
Well, because the composer was probably like, how can I make this movie better?
And luckily, by the end, you can just listen to the music because there's not a lot of dialogue. Like the last half hour.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Good background.
Yep. All right. We're out of here. Until next week, I'm Cinnamon Dan. Trust the beard as always. Don't take my word, take yours. Mr. Moe Hawk was the guest. I don't think we introduced Mr. Moe Hawk, but it's obvious. Mr. Moe Hawk.
Cory Taylor.
Cory Taylor. All right, guys. See you next week.